Knockhill racing circuit where the conditions are pretty much perfect for racing. It's a little bit windy, but we're going to be looking at the Scottish Formula Ford Championship first of all. Later in the programme we're going to have a little look at the Fiestas, but first up is the Formula Fords, and there's a championship on the line here. Number 25, Neil MacLennan, could be 10 minutes away from his first Scottish Championship and the Road to Indy Scholarship. The only man that can stop him winning the championship in this race is the man who lines up second in number 50, Jamie Thorburn, still looking for his first win. Been so close to it. He's been right behind Neil pretty much all year. All Neil needs to do, one more win. Even if Jamie finishes second, it will give the title to Neil. And I want to point to the man in number 18 who's going to give us a wave. There he is. If you didn't have the helmet on, you would recognise that is Alan Kirkcaldy. I think 3 times Scottish Formula Ford champion, jumping into a car for this weekend, and he's been doing a great job. 4th place on the grid for this race. I'll hand it to Richard for the first race of the day.
Thanks very much, John. Well called on the points. That's the exact situation. Neil MacLennan on pole, Jamie Thorburn alongside, then Seb Melrose and Alan Kirkcaldy, Matthew Chisholm and Matthew Cowley on row 3, and then Neil Broom, David Hurry, Ivor Mez and Ross Howe. Stephen Barlow is next with Fergus McIntyre and David Thorburn completing the grid. Countdown underway here for round 12 of the championship. Round 11 was yesterday, and we'll recap that in a moment. Lights are on though, and Neil MacLennan makes a very good start from pole position. This could be the race that secures the championship title for him. It's very close for second place. Jamie Thorburn and Seb Melrose well in the mix. There is Alan Kirkcaldy in the black 18. Behind them we've got Matthew Chisholm coming under pressure from Matthew Cowley. Those two dicing for 4th place in the championship as well. So great start. Neil Broom's in behind them in car number 3, and here's the view from Matt Cowley coming up into Clark Curve. So much to talk about this weekend. Triple header for the Scottish Formula Ford 1600 Championship this weekend. Cowley and Chisholm look like they're going to enjoy another great race here. Chisholm defensive, coming down into the hairpin. Cowley looks around the outside, gets a lot of momentum, and has now got to try and hang on. You've got to say fair play to Matthew Chisholm there, who left room on the outside for Matthew Cowley, but he couldn't take it. He didn't have enough grip, I don't think, to be able to make that work round the outside. But across the line, it's MacLennan from Thorburn. We've got a good scrap on for 3rd place. Sebastian Melrose coming under pressure from Alan Kirkcaldy. Alan Kirkcaldy running as a guest entry, which means basically no championship points and won't interfere with any championship battles for sure. And that's a great thing that you can do in Scotland. Lots of guests coming in and having a little play at various formulae as the season gets to the latter stages. You've only got one more round left, which is the 2nd of October, and I hope you'll be able to join us at Knockhill for that. But what a great season we've had again. Just gone all too quickly. And I guess that's what the others are saying about Neil MacLennan. He's gone too quickly over the course of the season. So MacLennan is out front. Jamie Thorburn second. There's Matthew Chisholm in 92. Actually closing in on Alan Kirkcaldy. And if I'm sounding surprised about that, bear in mind that Matt Chisholm's car, a Van Diemen RF 92, immediately behind him you've got Matthew Cowley in the 2013 Van Diemen. The engineering on the Formula Fords, particularly some of the older cars, incredible that these machines can still mix it, and that's great prep, good driving as well, great driving in fact for Matthew Chisholm. And here's the chaser, Matthew Cowley uphill, and 1 DNF so far this year. Neil MacLennan of course hasn't had any retirements, neither has Jamie Thorburn. They've been very consistent over the course of the year. Matthew Chisholm exactly the same. So good prep, good driving standards by those guys as well. And remember, first round winner of the year was Jordan Gronkowski, who we haven't seen sadly since July. I do hope Jordan will come back and race something, because the ex-Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper CHAPMAN has made his mark in Formula Ford as well, and he's well capable of taking a title. Alan Kirkcaldy, as Joe mentioned, former champion in this category. I think last champion back in 2003, but remember he's a double Scottish BMW Compact Cup champion as well, so a very versatile driver as well as being a quick and successful driver as well. Up and over the brow they go, and Seb Melrose still holding on to that third place, coming under pressure from Kirkcaldy from Chisholm from Cowley. Four-way scrap for third place at the moment. Now, points-wise, as Joe mentioned, basically Jamie Thorburn needs to win this race in order to keep his championship hopes alive, because the gap is getting... Oh, and he's off! Jamie Thorburn, that's him off. We've got waved yellows, and that is the championship to Neil MacLennan. Jamie Thorburn in the background. MacLennan was in front anyway. He'd love to have beaten Jamie to the podium, but Jamie Thorburn, it's his first retirement of the year, and he is off the circuit. He's got it all to do in our third race, which is the David Leslie Trophy. And, well, that is a real turn-up for the books. It means that the championship gap, assuming that Neil MacLennan gets fastest lap, will go out to 103 points on this race. There will only be 78 points available. So, pretty academic anyway, as Joe mentioned. So what we're looking at now is the scrap for second place. So Sebastian Melrose in second, but coming under big pressure here from Alan Kirkcaldy. Then we've got Matthew Cowley, the second of the black cars, with the yellow flashes as well, chasing in. But here is the champion-elect, who will follow in the wheel tracks of Adam Mackay, 2015 champion, Kieran Haggerty, 2014, Stuart Thorburn in 2013, Ross McEwen before that, Kenny Thirlwall, Craig Brunton, Rory Butcher, Graham Carroll double champion, 2007 and 2008, and in 2008 Alan Kirkcaldy was the man who chased him to the title, with Rory Butcher in third place. So a lot of history here in Formula 4. We're also getting into that time of year where we've got some big races coming up nationally for Formula Ford. We've got the festival at Brands Hatch, we've got the Walter Hayes Trophy as well, and of course our championship winner Neil MacLennan will also go into the shootout for the Road to India. We'll talk a little bit more about that in race number 2. What a great scrap we've got on for second. Absolutely classic Formula Ford 1600 racing. Kirkcaldy's piling the pressure on, but look at Matthew Chisholm, who looks down the inside of Kirkcaldy, who left the door open. Kirkcaldy, I think, was looking at the outside line, and Chisholm's going to have a try up the inside. Doesn't quite have the momentum up the hill, and we join Matthew Cowley, who's running in fourth place, and these two sparring over fourth and fifth in the overall championship standings as well. So there's always something to race for right the way down the order. Well, we're not a long way down the order, of course, because this is... Oh, and there goes, look at Cowley, round the outside at Scotsman. Fantastic move from Matthew Cowley. Goodness me, what an overtake right the way round the outside of Matt Chisholm. Again, clean, fair racing from the pair, which is the hallmark of much of our racing here north of the border. Matthew Cowley, that was for fourth place. He's got Alan Kirkcaldy. It's going to be third place points here, of course, because Kirkcaldy is a guest driver, won't pick up any championship points. So Neil MacLennan is on his way to another win. This is round 12 of the championship. It will be an 11th straight win for Neil MacLennan. We've seen several performances like this over the years, it has to be said, and MacLennan here in many respects was the expected man this season, and he's not let that pressure get to him. Jordan Grokowski won the first race of the year, but since then it's been first place all the way for Neil MacLennan. The youngster from Tor is going to secure the title in fine fettle. We can congratulate him already, so many congratulations to Neil MacLennan, who comes down into the hairpin and will climb up the hill and will be so delighted to take the checker and the 2016 Scottish Formula Ford Championship. Neil MacLennan is champion. Who's going to get second? Sebastian Melrose is there at the moment. Matthew Cowley is on a mission to try and get round the outside of Alan Kirkcaldy. What a great four-way scrap we've had for second. Melrose, it's Kirkcaldy, Cowley and Chisholm. Matthew Chisholm in fifth, and here's the result. Neil MacLennan win and fastest lap, our new champion. Sebastian Melrose second from Alan Kirkcaldy, Matthew Cowley, Matthew Chisholm in fifth, then Neil Broom from David Hurry, Ross Howe, Ivan Mez, Fergus McIntyre and David Thorburn.
Neil, 2016 Scottish Formula Ford champion. You're a man of few words, you don't show a lot of emotion, but yeah, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just delighted with the whole year so far. It's just been absolutely brilliant. To win the championship around early is just fabulous, and to win the road to Indy as well.
That was my next question. Obviously, winning the championship means a lot, but obviously you're now in the shootout for the road to Indy, across to America, and another great opportunity and another door opens for you.
Yeah, in the shootout now, and another door opens for me. So just hope I do well out there, and just hope for the best. But no, just can't thank the team for this weekend, for all the great work they've done for the whole year and for the 2 days they've done so far this weekend. But yeah, everything's just gone brilliant, and just delighted to win the championship around early. But got the David Leslie Trophy next, so I need to go try and win that now. But no, just thrilled, absolutely delighted.
And you had your dad in tears?
Did I?
Yeah, plenty of tears there, but well earned tears, I'm sure.
Yeah, I looked pretty nervous at the start, but no, I think I'll be a bit settled now. But no, I can't thank anyone enough. Just sponsors and the guys at the workshop. They've just done fabulous all year. Can't thank them enough.
I would have put my house on you winning this championship before the season started, off the back of what you did last year, but you certainly delivered. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Joe.
The final Formula Ford race of the day is a Scottish Championship point scoring round, but it's also the David Leslie Memorial race as well, and on pole position will be 25. We're so used to seeing it and so used to saying it. It's Neil MacLennan. He is going to be really hungry to win this trophy. It's a prestigious trophy race that we run every year at Knockhill, and he wants to add his name to the trophy, and he's going to be really hungry to do so. But second place, Seb Melrose, getting stronger and stronger every time out on track, and with Jamie's misfortune, he will be lining up. You can see him right towards the rear of the field, so he's got a lot of work to do. He's got the pace to be right in the front, but he's having to start towards the rear. We've also got Alan Kirkcaldy. There he is, staring at us there. That's the death stare of Alan Kirkcaldy, giving us a wave there. Alan, one of the most experienced guys in the Formula Ford, he wants to make his mark as well. I can't pick a winner. I'll hand it to Richard and see if he can.
Well, you'd have to be brave to bet against Neil MacLennan on pole position. So it's Neil from Sebastian Melrose, and then Alan Kirkcaldy, Matthew Cowley, Matthew Chisholm, Neil Broom, David Hurry, Ross Howe, Ivor Mares and Fergus McIntyre on row 5. Row 6, David and Jamie Thorburn and Stephen Barlow completing the grid for round 13 of the championship. More importantly, it is, as Joe said, the David Leslie Trophy Race 2016. Lighting sequence is complete. Wait for the lights to go out. Relatively long wait. MacLennan gets away very well. Sebastian Melrose in second. We need to watch for Jamie Thorburn, who wants to try and claw back some points for second place in the table. Now, third position in this meeting has actually changed. I mentioned that Matthew Cowley in our previous race was dicing with Matthew Chisholm for fourth in the championship. And I neglected to mention that Sebastian Melrose has moved into third in the standings now by just 2 points. They were actually, Cowley and Melrose were tied in third place on points after the first race, the Saturday race, which we didn't see. Here's the view from Ivor Mares, and Ivor waving through Jamie Thorburn, who is definitely on a little bit of a mission to try and come through. So just to clarify championship positions, as Matthew Cowley gets stuck in once again, and this time round the outside of Alan Kirkcaldy, the multi-champion, and Kirkcaldy giving Cowley less space than we saw Matthew Chisholm do in race number 1. And Cowley here, all part of the learning. There's the race leader, Neil MacLennan, who goes into the Road to Indy shootout, the Mazda Road to Indy shootout. Basically, various champions from racing at this level will get the ticket to compete in the scholarship final, which takes place over in America in the autumn. And the prize, should you win, so obviously we're hoping, got our fingers firmly crossed that Neil MacLennan will win. And if he does, he'll win a $200,000 scholarship to race in the United States Formula 2000 Championship and make a big mark on his career to race in the States. Matthew Cowley looks at the inside line of Alan Kirkcaldy. Sebastian Melrose, remember, third in the championship. I've got to go back, haven't I, and talk about championship points. Neil MacLennan champion, Second in the standings is Jamie Thorburn. Sebastian Melrose is now third in the championship and running second in the race there in red. And Alan Kirkconnell looks down the inside, can't quite get past him. Fourth in the championship, Matthew Cowley. And fifth in the standings, this man, Matthew Chisholm, who's going to pile the pressure on Matthew Cowley again. What a great race this quartet have had. What a great meeting this quartet have had. And you can see a terrific line there by Matthew Cowley into Scotsman. Has pulled clear. Matthew Chisholm, the driver leading the classic class standing, so the for the older cars, and as we said in our first race, that car built in 1992. Matthew Cowley again attacking the outside line of Alan Kirkconnell, and there from the back of the grid is Jamie Thorburn, who's made terrific progress. Thorburn is up ahead of Neil Broome, so Thorburn is scything his way through the field. It's still Neil MacLennan that's got the fastest lap, but watch the white car on the right of shot, manages to pass Matthew Chisholm. Now I'm wondering, of course, it all depends whether Jamie comes back next year. Jamie in the newcomers category, if he comes back next year, he's going to have all the pressure that Neil MacLennan had this year to take the title. So the number 50 doing a terrific job here. And now up and challenging Matthew Cowley. So let's see whether Thorburn can go past. And he's got in the mix of this four-way scrap at the moment for second place. So Thorburn is going to tee up on the inside line. Cowley wants the inside, goes back to the outside. Opportunity here for Thorburn to maybe take two scouts for the price of one. He's on the inside. He's done it. Thorburn goes through into third place. But Matthew Cowley's in the mix still as well. Alan Kirkconnell is on the inside line. Up the hill, over the line they go. Up the hill, over the brow, down under the Beanson's Bridge, into Duffus once again. And Thorburn, fair play, slice through those guys. They're having their own battle, and of course Thorburn could have got embroiled in that, but what a superb move down the inside, three wide in single seaters into the hairpin, and that shows the respect that these drivers have for each other, and also more importantly the driving skills. Ross Howe just out of shot. David Thorburn is there, and following David Thorburn, Ivan Mayers in the yellow Mondial. So the Irishman, always a very welcome visitor, comes from Coleraine, and only joined us in July this year, Ivor, whereas in past years multiple champion in the classic category. Haven't always had lots of cars racing in the classics, but as we've seen, and you can see from the suspension there that is an older car, say, than a much older car than that being driven by Matthew Chisholm and Neil Broome. Neil Broome running in a 1993 Swift chassis. And here's the scrap for third place. Now Jamie Thorburn has come through, and Thorburn is in second, and we're looking at the battle for third place. And on the inside line it's Sebastian Melrose. Alan Kirkconnell on the outside, braving it out, runs a little bit wide, and I think Matthew Cowley thinks he might be able to nip through on the inside line as well, coming up into the chicane, very nearly side by side into the chicane. I still can't quite get over the three wide that we had. Neil Broome's joining in as well now in the white car. That's Neil Broome in the Swift, who's battling for Class B Classic honours, and he's closed up on Matthew Chisholm. So Broome working hard here. Here's the view from Matthew Chisholm again, coming down into the hairpin. Lock up there from Cowley, and through on the inside line goes Matthew Chisholm, but Cowley's using that outside line to very good effect this weekend and gets more momentum up the hill and starts to pull away once again. Still Neil MacLennan out front. MacLennan's got the fastest lap, incidentally. Jamie Thorburn still running in second, and Thorburn, for me, yeah, he had to start off the back, but that's the drive of the race, coming through the field and doing so with what looks like ease, and we might think back to that if we see Thorburn again next year. But look at this great scrap for third position. Sebastian Melrose takes a wide line into Clark. Kirkconnell has a look up the inside. This is for sure keeping our race fans entertained. This is the Scottish Motor Racing Club's Super Touring Car Festival. We've got the Super Tourers here. So a lot of the people have come in to see John Cleland and Gabriele Tarquini race, but they're seeing some good single-seater, brilliant single-seater racing this weekend as well. They've been thoroughly entertained right the way across the whole spectrum of formulae that are racing here everything. Scottish Saloons, the Minis, the Classics, the whole thing, the Legends cards. It's been a super weekend, and it isn't finished yet, because still in third place is Sebastian Melrose, and Alan Kirkconnell is challenging hard, but he's got Matthew Cowley in his mirrors, and Cowley hard on the brakes there. A little lock-up going into Scotsman. Thought there might have been a gap, and Kirkconnell's just trying to get momentum to go past the third place man at the moment. But it's Sebastian Melrose, the man from Bathgate, who's still in front and on for another podium, a third podium of the meeting. Remember, this is a triple header. The Formula Ford's not having an away day like some of the other classes, but they do get this triple header and the very special David Leslie Trophy race. Here's Jamie Thorburn, who's come through from the penultimate row of the grid after retirement in race number 2 of the meeting, race 1 of the programme. But here is Neil MacLennan, and it's, I guess, appropriate that the 2016 champion is going to take the David Leslie Trophy here. A superb drive. This youngster is very quiet, but let's, to use a little bit of a cliche, let's his driving do the talking. He's been superb all season, and of course the key thing here is that the championship's won, but he's still got the motivation. He knows that this prestigious trophy is up for grabs, and he is clear by over 10 seconds from Jamie Thorburn. So Neil MacLennan comes into the hairpin, climbs uphill, and we'll see the checkered flag for the 12th time this year. We look for the checker. There it is. Neil MacLennan wins the 2016 David Leslie Trophy race. It's going to be Jamie Thorburn, a super drive from the penultimate row of the grid, to take second. It's still all going on. It looks like Matthew Cowley's gone down the inside of Alan Kirkconnell at the back of shot. Thorburn takes second. Up to the line they come. Sebastian Melrose is third. Cowley is fourth. Alan Kirkconnell fifth. Matthew Chisholm in sixth place, ahead of Neil Froome. David Hurry is next from Ross Howe. David Thorburn next. Here's David in blue. Then Ivor Mares. The results completed by Stephen Barlow and Fergus McIntyre. Stephen in 12th, Fergus McIntyre in 13th, and there's confirmation of the top 10. Confirmation too of the 11th fastest lap of the season for Neil MacLennan, our new champion.
Neil, 2016 champion, David Leslie Memorial Trophy winner. Doesn't get any better than this.
Very, very good weekend. Coming away with the championship and the David Leslie Trophy. Just couldn't ask for anything better, really. But no, the team's done an excellent job the whole weekend since Friday morning. So team and sponsor have just helped me out so much this weekend. It's just been perfect. 2016 isn't even finished yet. There's still another round in October, but you don't need to worry about results there. You've obviously already done the championship, won the David Leslie. Are you thinking ahead to 2017? You need to come up with a master plan pretty soon. We're thinking ahead. We've also got the shootout to do in America. See how we get on there. Just depends on how we get on out there, really. But we've got a few things lined up, I think. But we'll see how we get on in America first, just see how it goes. But no, I'm looking forward to it.
Well done.
Thank you very much.